And we're going to discuss the hijab, the headscarf. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, you did a good job.
Thanks. All right, so I'm going to ask you a few questions about like your self-image and like your self-respect as it applies to your hijab. Number one, like as a child, did you like wearing the headscarf? Like, how long have you been wearing it?
I've been wearing it since I was 14. It's recommended for girls to wear those scarves like once they reach puberty in Islam. And as a kid and still now, I feel really comfortable with it because of the household that I was brought up in. I have two other sisters and my mom, and they both wear their headscarves. And I went to an Islamic school from K to 8th grade, so I was kind of around people who practiced Islam a lot. So for me, it wasn't really anything weird because I was surrounded by Muslims 24/7. It wasn't until like I reached high school and came to college that I finally realized that I was kind of different than everyone else at the time. And even with that difference, I still feel comfortable. But at the time, as a kid, I was like proud, and I never felt.
So it was never like an inconvenience to wear.
Never, no.
Okay. Do you ever wish you could just let your hair down all the time? Like when you see other girls like toying with their hair in class or whatever?
Yeah, that's true. Like, of course, it's a little awkward at times, but I mean, I know my reasoning behind wearing it, and I stand behind that. So,
what is that reasoning?
The reasoning why I wear it, well, one, it's recommended in the Quran, and as a Muslim, we believe that whatever is recommended in the Quran is best for a Muslim. And the reason why I wear it is because I like being identified as a Muslim. I like being like identified as a Muslim, especially by other people. I think it's a good way of letting people know who you are, especially with the current state that like the reputation that Islam has now. I think it's really good for people to realize, hey, she's a Muslim. I can sit down and talk to her, just like this conversation we're having now. We'd have never known that I was Muslim if I had not worn my like, headscarf. Also, I don't think limits is a bad word, but I think, and control is a bad word too, but I'm just going to have to use them. It doesn't limit and control, but people see you as Muslim and you do actions better, you know what I mean? Because you're representing a religion, so you sort of carry yourself in this kind of better way, and it creates this like really great pride within you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when you go to another country and you like, you don't want to misrepresent Americans as being horrible, so you like best behavior or whatever.
Exactly.
Like you wouldn't like speed while driving in another country, whereas if you were in America, you might speed while driving all the time.
Yeah.
So you want to represent like an ideal.
Yeah. And you want to be a good representation at the same time. It's really good. And also, there's a big factor in, like, modesty in Islam, and I think that the scarf brings about great modesty, especially for women, and I think it creates this, like, sort of, a lot of people look at it as limiting, but I think that it actually liberates women in Islam. Like, I often feel like when I'm approached by people, like, when I'm approached by males, it's different because they look at me and they're not able to see everything, like every single shape of my figure or whatever, you know what I mean? It's more so like I have a control over our relationship. I have a control of what they can see and what they can't see.
I was actually going to ask you about that. So, like, how comfortable do you have to be with someone with a guy before you would let them see your hair?
I really don't know.
You haven't reached that point yet?
Yeah, it's just, for me, it's like, I don't know, like you just have more control over that relationship, and it makes things better. And I've never had a situation where a guy has disrespected me over it. I've had nothing but respect from males. So I feel like that is the main point, and it sort of liberates women in that sense. And it kind of hurts for people to think that I'm like limited and I have no voice or whatever. And
but you definitely
exposed.
do.
Yeah, I'm not exposed to anything, and I'm like this quiet girl in this corner. But in reality, like my scarf just opens me up and lets me be this, like, really...
Because you're judged for your personality, not your physical appearance.
Exactly, and that's one of the big major points of it, is for people to realize who you are inside and not on the outside. I mean, of course, as humans, people still look at you on the inside, but the whole point of it is so... whatever, like... I don't know. It's in your heart that matters, basically. So any relationship that I would be in with, like, any male, I would feel so much more comfortable being in that relationship, knowing that based on the fact that he sees me for who I am, type of thing. So, and I think that's awesome. I think that's most liberal, like, as liberal as it gets. Like, I feel like no other relationship can get any better than that, because, I don't know, I feel like that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, but, like, when I came to visit you in your dorm, you had your hair down.
That's
because it's fine for your roommates, whatever.
And in front of girls, it's
okay.
fine. Because
so your sisters and your family,
yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
How about your brothers?
My brothers, all in Islam, it's called the mahram, and these are like male figures who are related to you. So basically, like my dad, my brothers, my uncles, my cousins.
I mean, they're never going to want to pursue a relationship with you,
exactly.
So it's fine.
Yeah, so it's hair because the hair is seen. It's not just the hair; it's like other body parts. Like I would never go to the beach in a bikini or anything like that type of thing. So it's basically.
But normal bathing suits are fine. One-piece bathing suits are fine.
I wouldn't wear that either. The thing is, you're just not supposed to like have the intention of sexually arousing men, and your hair is seen as one of those major points, and also your body. Too, which is why sometimes you see a lot of Muslim women in like loose garments and stuff like that. I obviously don't wear that because I think you can be modest at the same time.
Yes.
Without so.
Yeah, because you're just very modest. You're not all covered.
Yeah. So where was I going with this? Sorry.
I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah. So basically, like, there's more to it, and.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, and the reason why I showed you my hair is because you're a female.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah.
I was comfortable with that.
Alright, so let's see. Has a guy ever like accidentally glimpsed your hair?
Yeah, of course.
And it doesn't matter.
Things happen. Like I've never really gotten offended by anything. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it is a big deal, of course, but I know the kind of people that I'm comfortable around, and if a guy did accidentally see my hair, I wouldn't consider it that big of a deal. Like, and I would still wear my headscarf with pride. No problem about it. Like, yeah.
Cool. Does the religion recommend only taking the headscarf around a husband or like a really intimate boyfriend? Like, is that fine? Like, if you've been like going out with a guy for a while, you can take off your scarf around them.
I guess that's depends on the person. Actually, in Islam, dating is not recommended. Well, there isn't supposed to be that. You can date, but there isn't supposed to be that physical factor there.
You're only supposed to be emotionally connected.
Yeah, so by you taking off your headscarf, that would kind of be a form of like a physical thing. So there really isn't a mention of that.
So technically, you should wait.
Yeah, technically you should wait.
So it's like losing your virginity in the Catholic Church. It's like the same thing. Like Catholic Church definitely says you should absolutely wait until you're married, whereas some people allow that level of intimacy before they're married.
Basically, and like fornication is frowned upon in the Quran and stuff like that. So, with that comes like women covering their hair before they like. I've known a lot of people who have worn their headscarves in front of fiancés and stuff like that, and once they've gotten married, they don't have to wear it in front of them. The fact that they're married. So.
Neat. Yeah. Yes, I think that's all the questions I have about your like personal self-image with that. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.